all the way from Mother Earth, a man that would take you to the real Mount Vernon like no one has done before. And now, it's right here with St. James.
Now get me Savior!
It is officially summer, baseball season in effect, about to have Madden drop, and lo and behold, Josh Allen and Bills Mafia is going to be on this year's Madden. And I've started to think, has the Madden curse been reversed? Since 2016, think about this, y'all. Since 2016, every athlete except for one Lamar Jackson that has graced the cover of Madden has won a Super Bowl. Odell Beckham, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown even won. All three of them won on the same team. And then you had the double feature with Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes again. Then they had Lamar Jackson. He's the only one that didn't win a championship yet. Now Josh Allen gets on there. Remember where you heard it first. If the Madden curse has been reversed, get ready, Bills Mafia. I'm not calling it because I'm not a Cowboys fan. This is not our year every year. But do not count us out.
Now get me Savior!
Anyway, again, it's officially summer. I recently witnessed a person being carried from their car by her two friends, 1:30 in the afternoon, fully impaired. She like she was having the time of her life. I had to remember, it's a sunny Sunday, and people are day drinking again. I couldn't be too judgmental though, being that I was a little hazy still from the night before, more fatigued than anything. One thing for sure, Father Time remains undefeated. You will get reminders that you ain't in college no more. Those days of going till 5 in the morning without a power nap early in that day will have you on an IV for the following week. The people you see at these spots will also remind you of your chronological status. So, how do you know you're in an older spot? Well, guess what, y'all? I feel it's time for a top 5. We haven't done this in quite a long time. Let's get right to it. What are the symptoms that you're in an older spot? Number 5, if there are more than 5 women in there with finger waves in their hair, then it's a good chance you're at an older spot. If they sitting together, they probably playing Pekino. Number 4, there's a cat in there wearing the rarest Coogee sweater and a Kango. Chances are, you're at an older spot. And I mean, homie was killing it too in the place with this rare 1 of 2 edition Coogee. He had one and Biggie had the other one. Number 3, if you're walking up to the spot and you see a Buick LeSabre with custom cloth top and white wall tires, chances are the owner owns a pair of patent leather white shoes as well. Number 2, if there's a payphone in there, you're probably at an older spot. And finally, if there are paramedics camped out right around the corner on standby, just turn around and find somewhere else to go. You know, they figure the action in there is going on maybe a little bit too much for some of the patrons, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, another great show on deck. We have a new segment with folks calling up asking me, the kid, on some advice on various situations. Should make for interesting conversation. Our mindset building, of course, we have some news and, of course, our top 50 Ultimate MCs list. So, let's jump right in. I hear the water is great.
He's right here, right?
And now it's time for some action with St. James.
Good evening. So, today's show doesn't have a guest, but we're going to try something different this time. So throughout my time, there have been people that have been asking me for what would I do in these situations, or ask me for just simple advice on what they think is the best practices for certain situations. So I've compiled a couple of callers. They're in queue, and we're going to have an advice column right now with the people calling up saying, hey, help this. Come on, let's get it done.
And now it's time for Hey, Help This.
All right, so welcome to Hey, Help This. New segment, advice column with your boy Save James. I'm here for the people, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to help you through your toughest times. How this is going to work, Mike is going to give us, I'm going to give Mike the cue. He's going to let the caller in on the line, and then we will take whatever question they have and try to figure out how we can best help them. I'll be sipping on some cachava as we talk to the individuals one by one. Whenever you're ready, Mike. First caller.
Hey, I was told to call you about the co-host position.
No, that's not what...
Great. I want to show you my goods. Like, I want to give it all to you.
Well, this is a family show, so I'm not sure if that's really
Let me tell you what I really do. See, I soak myself in lamp oil and I set myself on fire in front of the people.
Well, how many times...
I'm a magician.
Whoa. So...
The people love it.
This is your act?
Well...
How many times have you done this?
I've burnt myself several times. I'm scarred around the neck, face, and back, legs, and stomach, but it's not that noticeable.
I'm not sure who you talked to, but they gave you the
A
wrong...
little makeup does the trick. Listen to me.
Yeah.
I have other little trinkets and knickknacks I use. Like, I jump around with dogs on stage. I put a little ballerina skirt on the dogs and play Dance Revolution. And the crowd
how'd they get this
really
link, bro?
Goes crazy. They love it. They love it. Where can we go with this, huh? Show me. Talk to me, you hyena.
I don't know what you want me to say. There's no co-host casting going...
Is Mike there?
Who?
Mike, the guy you're always talking to on set.
Well, I really can't...
I want to show Mike my toolbox.
Hey, all right. Hey, take it easy. I think that's about enough. We're here to 4. Oh, right, like you've seen somebody light themselves on fire before. Next caller.
Now get me Sabian!
Hey Mo, check this out. I'm in NY right now to see this younger right. I like feeling slim, but I heard she be outside. On my mother, I want it, but I don't want to be like, I'm kind of geeking off shorty, but I ain't trying to bam out.
First, what's your name, sir? Where you calling from?
Hey, young, you doing way too much. I called you for help, Mr. Salmon Suit. I'm outside Iverson Mall because I just caught...
Wait. So that's where you're... You know what? Thank you. Okay, so let's go back. You kind of like shorty, but you heard she's got a wandering eye, right? And you don't want to play yourself by spending all kinds of money on her if you want to end up getting played.
Yeah, she got me trying to hold hands, but she seemed like she the type to go to the go-go to see Big G in backyard with me for real.
Yo, fam, you know there's no go-go's in New York, right?
Hey, bro, you yelling like a mug. What you mean ain't no go-go?
Actually, I'm not.
All right, Slim. Anyway, where can I take Shorty to get some food from? Because I got the gas.
Okay, give me a sec.
I'm going to Jai like it.
Jai is like a measurement or another way of saying kinda.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Mo.
Copy. Okay, so you want to take her out, get something to eat. You might like her, but you don't want to play yourself. Okay, I've been there before. Okay, so get something to eat before you go get her.
Where can I get a half and half with some wings and some mumbo sauce out in New York?
Bro, this ain't the DMV. You got to go see Poppy or Ak for a chop and cheese, or go to 135 in Lenox and get the falafel. They got the best falafel trucks in the city. Last resort, if you all the way uptown, hit White Plains Road and Burke Ave and get 2 slices from them right there. Either way, you'll be full and she can get whatever she wants.
Ding, ding. Next stop, Wellington Park. Hey, Mo, you said whatever she wants?
Well,
nah, I can't pay
within
that,
reason
can't pay that at all.
of your budget, of course. Either way, the $10 you spend on yourself is going to save you at least another 75 or 100 cash off the menu. Trust me. Just tell her it's about her tonight. Take the focus off of you while you're not eating. Maybe some dessert and beverage, but that's up to you to how much you indulge.
Man, all right, Mo, whatever. But look, Mo, don't have me out here looking sweet I'm a gut. I'm a listener. If you have me sweet on mothers, you got to see me.
Pull up.
All right, Mo. Holla.
Next caller.
Now get me Sabian!
Hello, my friend. Tengo un problemita. I need some help, primo.
Oh, okay. Keep your shirt on. ¿Qué lo que? ¿Cómo te va? Háblame, por favor.
Tranquilo, tú sabes, pero... But I need your help, papi.
What's on your mind?
I'm going to my girlfriend's family cookout la próxima semana, next week.
Okay, you're meeting the family. Step in the right direction.
Yeah, but she's a mujer negra, you know.
Hey, yo, Poppy, we not doing that here, yo.
Cálmate. Not like that. This is my first black girlfriend, you know?
So what? You scared of her family because they black? What type of time you on?
Oye. I'm from the Bronx, okay? I'm not scared of black people.
Come on, man. Talk to me.
I don't know how to play spades.
Oh, Wait. Let's be clear. Did she say we putting something on the grill, or is this a cookout?
Pero what's the difference? All I know is she said something about her auntie's macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, that's a cookout, bro.
Primo, I play domino, baseball, and even handball. I don't know spades.
And what part of brunch? You know, never mind. Well, what do you know about spades?
Blind Joker, Little Boston, Big Deuce.
Whoa. Take it easy.
Yeah, but what do I do?
Don't go.
I don't understand.
Don't go. Look, man, if you want to sit down.
Pero si me preguntan.
Look, man.
But if they ask me, bro, you know.
If you go, don't sit down no matter how bad they say they need a fourth person. Listen, man, there are a few things that black people don't play with. They don't play about their check. They don't play about their mama. And they definitely don't play about their partner at spades at the cookout.
Okay.
Primo. Whatever you do, don't sit at the table.
Bueno.
See if they need more paper plates. Tell them you got bubble guts or something. You gotta go to the bathroom. I don't care. Just don't sit at the table if you don't know how to play. Trust me on this one.
Okay, gracias, manito. I see you later, papi.
Here to help, bro.
Now get me Sabian!
Well, so that does it for A. Help this. Listen, man, we're here for the people. Any way we could be of service. Join us next time for more game-changing advice with your boy, Save James.
Right here, all right?
And now, it's time to get your mind right with Save James.
All right, y'all know what time it is. It's time to get your mind right. Welcome to another edition of my attempt to share information that helped me build a healthier mindset. A mindset geared to my desires and wants, okay? So, from the beginning, I have been harping on feeling good and its importance so you can get closer to accomplishing and actualizing your goals, right? Now, what are your goals? Or better yet, how do you define your goals? First, define your goals. And it doesn't have to be complicated either. You can just say things like, I just want to feel, competent, exhilarated, secure, blissful, laughter, love, etc. Or speak to that new car, new home, promotion, or that perfect day. Either way, you could be as definitive or as general as you want. Next, this is where what I explained about quantum mechanics comes into play. Have a really strong want. Now, this is a pivotal point, all right? You gotta have the want, but don't focus on the not having of the want. This can easily make it turn negative. Next, you keep this thought and feel as good as you can about it as long as possible. Wait. Did someone say quantum is Latin for how much? Remember that? All thoughts are vibrations. And when you put a thought, vibration, or frequency out, the first thing that you attract are matching thoughts. And then when the thoughts and feelings gain momentum, you will begin to have experiences that reflect your thoughts and feelings. And finally, you must believe and have no doubt. Remember, belief is the union of thoughts and emotion. We talked in depth about this on the last show. Now, when you think about what you want, how do you feel? And you gotta be honest. Also, try not to put a timeline on things. Now, I know that's easier said than done, but that could start to make you feel a little uneasy if you don't see things happening right away. Then you'll start to doubt based on what you see or don't see. Now, quick point, but major point. This planet, this universe, is made of electricity and magnetism. Everything in your life, everything is in your life through law of attraction. You created everything in your life, both good and bad. Car crashes into you. How did you feel? Were you thinking about experiences that gave you similar feelings earlier, hours, days, months? Listen, quick story. When I was getting married, we didn't know how we were gonna pay for it, but we made a decision to go forward, and we actually got hit by a car. And the injury money that we got for it was able to pay for the whole thing down to the dollar. It's a true story. I say all that to say, go get hit by a car. Now I'm playing. I'm saying all that to say, stay open to how you may receive what you're asked for. Another example is when you keep attracting the same people in your relationships. You might be still focusing on the feelings that the last person gave you. And instead of defining what you want, you keep focusing on what you don't want. If you think about what you don't want, you will get more of the same. The moment you recognize this, you take 100% responsibility, and you can never become a victim again. It's powerful stuff, for real. You will stop blaming outside circumstance, okay? So, how do I increase desire? First, reduce the doubt and increase belief. Remember I talked about small goals last time? Start with small goals. Remember, doubt is worrying about the how, and you must always focus on feeling good. If you're feeling bad about anything, then that means you're thinking about what you don't want, or you could be thinking too far into the future. Remember the timeline thing. When the law of attraction is used in the opposite way, when you're thinking negative, using never phrasal, I'll never this, I'll never that, like attracts like, and you will eventually build a block of energy that forces you to think more negative thoughts. This block creates neural pathways of negative thinking. You are basically operating in an unconsciously competent level to thinking negative. It's like it happens automatically. And when you start to think positively, the old neural pathways will try to pull you back to the negative side. But over time, with the right discipline and work, and trust me, this is where the work really is. This habit starts to change, and so will be the outcome. So, all right, to wrap this up, my man's hit the wrap it up box. To wrap this all up, there is a recipe that is in agreement with what we've been covering thus far. First thing, your desire. Make sure you want it, but it can't be so much that it starts to turn negative. Next, remember, try not to put a timeline on it. I get it. We'll go into people, we have to set earmarks and benchmarks to reaching by a certain time, but overall, timelines can sometimes work against folks or whatever. 3, stay present. Don't doubt, because doubt can easily set in when we think too far in the future. We gotta stay in the moment. 4, stay open to all possibilities. You never know how the gift is gonna be packaged, but it could be the gift that you're looking for. And then lastly, believe. Belief is the union of thoughts and emotions. Your feelings will ultimately drive your belief.
It's right here, all right?
And now it's time for a breakdown with Save James.
All right, y'all know what time it is. Top 50 talk. It's been a while since we talked about it, but we're gonna pick right up where we left off at. Right at number 30, my man Styles P. All right, so I know most of my rankings are based off of playability, and we know the Locks had a handful of radio hits, but Styles is the one of the few exceptions. As previously stated, it's tough to really rank someone in a group, but Jadakiss and Styles had just as successful solo careers as they did as a group. Luch put in his work, but we all know Kiss and Styles outshining. And that's my guy. Trust me, Luch is my guy, but I digress. Styles is in my top 5 favorite MCs. Remember I said I'm saying favorite MCs. Lyrics, storytelling, street talk, metaphors, etc. True MC, all right? Started back in 94 with the Locks and released his first solo joint in 02 with, what was it, Gangsta and the Gentleman, which hailed the classic cult cut, Good Times. Can't say the real name of the song because this is a family show, but you guys know what I'm talking about. This was his only real commercial hit, but it had staying power. That song transcended so many cultural lines, it's not even funny, all right? He scored a 15 out of 20, heavy on bars and songs. Now listen, you gotta remember, he made hits with Mariah, Mary, Mona Lisa, 4 albums with the Locks, 15 solo albums since 02, and 2 recent collaboration albums with Davies and Havoc and Mobb Deep. And not to even mention his mixtapes, he had a slew of mixtapes, a whole run. His songs litter my playlist. Hall of Fame career, hands down. But I can only play one of his songs for real. Everything else was for the underground and for the streets.
Now get me Sabian!
All right, so number 29, we're gonna go to the Midwest, to Common, or Common Sense as he introduced himself as back in 92. Now, when he debuted with the album Can I Borrow a Dollar, the singles Take It Easy, Sold by the Pound, and Breaker 19 quickly put him in the mix during the vaunted early 90s. But that Resurrection album that dropped in 94 was a hip hop classic with the lead single I Used to Love Her. The album was produced by No ID, which was one of Kanye's mentors from The Chi, all right? The song went on to ruffle some feathers among the heavyweights at the time, mainly with one Ice Cube, which got pretty heated. But his Chi-Town pedigree did not allow him to back down, and it resulted in one of the greatest diss tracks to this day. It's another song I can't mention on the show because it's a family show. He went on to release more music and work with the headlining artists like Erykah Badu, Black Thought, Lauryn Hill, De La Soul, Kanye, of course, Mos Def, and more. Needless to say, his talent was recognized by most. He's a winner of Grammys, Oscars, Emmys, and Golden Globes. He scored a 16 out of 20, heavy on bars, songs, albums. In the mid-2000s, he got with Good Music, that was Kanye's label, and extended his career and gave us the Kanye-produced album Beat, which kind of reintroduced Common to the world after he suffered from temporary Baduism, all right? His acting career keeps him busy, and he's still rhyming 30 years later. One of the first people to put on for The Chi, him and Twisted came out around the same time. He's a pure MC with playable music, and if you ever want to get the crowd on your side, throw on The Light and watch the magic take place.
Now get me Sabian!
Number 28, we got Clifford Harris Jr., or we better know him as T.I. or T.I.P. Pause. One of ATL's finest. Since '99, T.I. has been carving a lane in hip-hop that has transmuted the sound to what we know as trap music today. His first album, I'm Serious, was released in '01 and was a sneaky good album. All right, the lead track Dope Boy set the tone on what this subgenre of trap was to sound like. The follow-up album, Track Music, put the stamp on his claim as King of the South. And there was nobody really questioning it. I mean, you can ask Little Flip. Now, in this game of hip-hop, there are an abundance of crime stories and street tales, some of which were never experienced by the artist. But I will say this, when I lived in Atlanta and was in school at the AU Center, the schools were nestled in the hood. And there was certain times where Mr. Harris, you knew what was going on in certain houses if you lived in the area long enough, all right? The emergence of this trap sound was a derivative of Southern culture as a whole. T.I. was the perfect storm to take it up a notch. Scored 16 out of 20, major on impact, trap music obviously, heavy on bars, and albums. It's tough to string together back-to-back albums, but I can say he even had a three-peat if you count I'm Serious. His commercial success was later on in his life, in his career, but he was already a bona fide star before he was doing tracks with Rihanna.
Now get me Sabian!
All right, number 27, Snoop Double G. Now, when Snoop first stepped on the scene in '92, '92 has been a very synonymous year with this countdown, hasn't it? It was in the midst of the West Coast run. All right, the G-Funk era was being ushered in with the Dogg Pound, Warren G, and Nate Dogg, to name a few. He basically wrote The Chronic, even though it was Dre's album, but it was a classic. And in '93, when he dropped his solo joint, Doggy Style, I actually cut school to go take the bus up to Central Ave and get the new release price at $7.99 from The Wiz. And it didn't disappoint. It was worth it. Hands down, another classic album. Dre was the apex predator at the time when it came to music, and this album was a major hit, like #1 on the Billboard's major hit. All right? The legend of Snoop took off, and since '93 has been relevant and playable. And not just his joints, but his features as well. All right, he scored a 15 out of 20, heavy on songs and beats, and impact. The impact was there because of the G-Funk sound, and he brought out that West Coast player imagery. Now, I will speak to the questionability of his pen, because we do know Jay wrote for this dude, him and Dre, for that song, that they basically spit verbatim what he wrote. So, That could possibly knock him down a couple of rungs in other people's lists, but again, this is my list. And today, on my list, he places number 27 because I cut school to get his out, and Tribe Called Quest album the same day. Midnight Marauders, but story for another day.
Now get me Sabian!
All right, so at number 26, we got Fat Joe. Now, Cracks had two careers, one with Big Pun and Terror Squad, and then one with Irv Gotti and later on. Both were relevant, but polar opposites. Now, Joe started making his rounds in 92 as part of the DITC crew, or the Digging in the Crates crew, who produced his first solo album in 93, Represent. Songs like Flojo and Ish Is Real rang off on the underground scene, and once again, the BX had another MC to wave the flag for the South Bronx. And in 95, Jealous One's Envy dropped and peaked at 71 on the billboards, and further solidified his stature in the future was brightened with the introduction of Big Pun. And then from 95 to 2001, him and Pun were pretty much inseparable in making great hip hop. He even was the executive producer on Pun's first album, Capital Punishment. And in 98, his album, Don Cartagena, climbed all the way to number 7 on the billboards. And in 01, he linked with Murder Inc. and got with Irv Gotti, and his second career began. His biggest track to this day is a joint with Ashanti called What's Love. And since then, he stayed in the talks of the game with hit after hit after hit, like Lean Back, Make It Rain, and all the way up, just to name a few. He scored 16 out of 20, scored well on bars, songs, and relevance. He brought us Pun, Terror Squad, and Remy Ma. All right, been in numerous movies, even made it to a kids movie in Happy Feet, and he had a character in the video game set after his likeness. Overall, we gotta really respect Joe for what he has done since 93. That is a tough task to do. 93 to 2023, you're talking 30 years of staying relevant, all right? And it's not just making music, but making music that people recognize. So we gotta give credit to that. You're able to do that for 30 years, you deserve a place in this list, and the fact that you make good music ranks you even better.
It's right here, all right?
Well, thanks for hanging out for another edition of It's Right Here. If you guys want to get in on the advice column and be one of the callers, feel free to email the show at save.james@gmail.com, and we will get back to you and get you the link to when you need to call in. We appreciate you all. So, normally, we end the show on a joke of some sort.
Came back home sorta like New Orleans. The way the freestyle, yo, it keep on pouring. He said he see the Jordans. We from the air, yo, the city, yo, the place, yo. We always had the glare, yo. We keep shining, keep climbing. Came down, yo, thanks for picking up my town. The freestyle, sometimes it gets wild, yo. I be hardcore. I see my man with the shirt, the Star Wars. Call me the R2D2 and C3PO. But when I come to New Orleans, I do for my people, though. She got the Converse on. Yo, she keep going, and I know her word is born. Cause that's the form that'll go around the loose, or go around the shoes, or go around the feet while we go around this beat. Yo, look at the baby. Who is that?
Oh, it's so nice. That's my daughter Renee. You know we really living life. It's my ace right here, man. I think it's super sweet. We got one that's on the way. I can't wait till I can meet. We call her Rose. This is what it takes. Like I suppose everybody truly chose, and we got some come and goes. I see a queen. Is that a tiara that's on her head? I don't know. Let me know, please. Go ahead and say it.
Yo, what it's saying, yo, I see it on her head. I'm looking at her hair, and it's the color of red. And I can say this is like the anticipation, a little precipitation. Congratulations to the baby on the way. Yo, we do this every day. This is our Friday. We express like highways. When it comes down, gotta put this whole thing in order. I see your children, and there's my daughter. Yo, she's 21. Yo, she just got it done.
Oh, man.
Graduated from Howard. Her and Shaponi. This is the type of boy. Yo, I'm from Stony. This is how it be. We never phony. You know me.
Cause they say can't hang